What's going on, guys? Hey, pre-orders are right here on the horizon, so let's get in and talking about the Series X versus the Series S and which one maybe you should consider over the other. Let's get into it after this. Alright guys, so as most of you know, the 22nd pre-orders are going live for the Xbox, for the Series S, for the Series X, and I just want to go over a couple things real quick on what you might want to consider picking up yours tomorrow, or even if you're going to wait till November 10th, or maybe into more of the holiday season closer to Christmas to get this, so video has longevity. But hey, let's start first with the big one is probably price. Of course, the Series S comes in at $299. The Series X comes in at $499. So there's a nice $200 difference there between the Series S and X. Both next-gen consoles. You could also do the All Access, which basically for 24 months you pay a set fee for that console, and you get Game Pass with over 100 games for free added to it. The Series S is going to be $25 a month. The Series X is going to be $35 a month. And I think it's really smart by Microsoft to bring out these all-access passes and the Series S at a cheaper price point with the times we're in right now. I'm sure people are looking going $500. You know, I could buy a lot of groceries. I could pay my bills with that. I could save it because who knows if anything's going to get worse over winter. So if you don't really have the money for it, but you want a console, you can go the route of paying monthly for it, or you can buy the maybe lesser console at $299 with the S, and that will save you a couple $100 for now to get you through into next-gen gaming, or a good present for your kid or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. Let's go ahead and get into it. But that one on price, of course, I'm going to have to give it to the S. You're in next-gen gaming. You know, you're going to get 1440p, which is going to cover most TVs. 4K is not the standard yet. It will be, but it's not yet. So I think the S is just a great value for everything you're getting, and you can use for the next couple years. I'm just going to give it to the S on this one. Great move by Microsoft to do that. So hey, let's move into the general specs of the internals of these, and these is where it gets confusing to people. It gets confusing to me. I'm not a super nerdy tech dude, don't understand this as much, but I've grown to understand and appreciate it some more. But anyway, the CPU on both of these systems, they're negligible. Of course, the X is a little bit better, a little faster, stronger than the S, but it's pretty negligible there. Where the big difference is in the GPU. The Series X has like 12.5 teraflops versus the 4 teraflops of the S. So that's a huge difference. The storage is also a big difference. You're going to get 1 terabyte in the X. You're going to get 512 gigabytes in the S. And with gaming in the way it's going, you're going to need all the space you can get to play these games, especially moving forward in the long term of these games. Now, of course, Xbox is coming out with basically a 1 terabyte external disc, or not disc, but external piece that you can add to your console, to either one of them, or both of them, I should say to both of them. That'll give you another terabyte of space. The cost on this is looking to be over $200. I think they're looking at $220 right now. So if you bought the Series S and you add this, well, now you're into Series X space. And you don't get all the benefits of the other things that the X comes with, and now you're paying about the same price. But again, if you don't need the storage, you're just playing games to just play them and have some fun, and maybe you're not a hardcore gamer, might not be a deal breaker, but hey, here, you've got to give it to the Series X. I mean, it's better than the PS5 in raw power. All of this stuff is just, the X has definitely brought it with the power and all of these things to keep it fast, keep your games loading fast. They're both going to load super fast, but just, of course, the X is definitely next-gen gaming at its best. So we're going to have to give it to the X in this one. The next one we're going to talk about is media. Now, media, I mean, right off the bat, the Series S is all digital. You're going to get 1440 now I can't think of the word. But anyway, it's 1440, you know what I'm talking, 1440p, idiot. 1440, which is basically 2K. You're going to get it 60 frames per second, which is really good. It's 2K, so most TVs aren't really there yet. Now, if you've invested in a UHD or a QLED or an OLED TV, that's where the X is going to really shine. It comes with a 4K UHD Blu-ray player, and it's going to be at 60 frames per second, but up to 120 frames per second. So it's going to look crisper. The X is going to look better than the S, especially if you have one of those TVs. If you have one of those TVs, you're going to have to give the nod to the X, because why would you pay that kind of money for a QLED, an OLED, a UHD TV, and not take advantage of it in gaming? Now, it might not be that big of a deal, and me, my vision's not perfect as it is, and 2K is pretty good. It's better than anything I have right now. So, again, it's just kind of where you stand. But if you know you're going to buy a 4K TV soon, and this one you're going to have to give it to the X again, and that's one you're going to have to look at. Especially, you're going to eventually get into a 4K TV. The prices are coming down. You're going to be there eventually. It might be a year or two down the road, but eventually you're going to get into a 4K TV. So having that 4K with the Blu-ray disc to play your games and your movies on it will be awesome. Now the form factor, that's going to be the next one. So we've got the Series S with one, the Series X with two. The form factor, this is going to be a big one. It's going to be a lot of personal preference. The Series X is that just block looking thing. Now I will say that top where the grill is, that little green space, I was hoping it'd be an LED that lit up. It's not, but hey, it still looks good. It looks Xboxy, but it's big and bulky, so it's probably not going to fit in a lot of entertainment centers unless you put it on its side. And I mean, it doesn't look bad. It just looks like a block. Now, the Series S probably has better functionality. You can stand it up on its side, of course, but just from all the videos I've seen, it looks super small, which is great because now you can tuck it away in your entertainment center. You could carry it with you somewhere else. If you went to a friend's house or maybe a hotel somewhere, you could easily take that with you and have your games with you with the S. You can hide it away. You can have 3 of these all over the house. They look good. They're white. I know it might not matter to you, but a lot of houses today, that white's going to fit in really good with a lot of design and a lot of way people are decorating our house. I know our house downstairs, the Series S is going to look a lot better than the X. So in this one, the form factor, I'm going to give it to the S because it's smaller. It'll fit in places better. I believe that grill, if you want to stand up on the side, the grill's going to be more protected than on the X. The X, if it's standing up, that grill's wide open there, and dust and dirt and bugs and junk can get into it. Of course, if it's on its side, the bugs can still get in it. But from the top, dust, dirt, and debris can get in there if you have it standing up. If you put it on its side, then the S has got the grill on top. So, I mean, but anyway, it's just smaller, it's more compact. The S is going to get the form factor here. And I do think it looks a little better. I like the way it looks, a little bit better than the X. So we're going to give the nod to the S there. It's 2.2 right now. The last thing I'm going to look into, number 5, is longevity. This is something you have to consider when you're paying this kind of money, because up front the S is $299, the X is $499. But if you're going to need that space to get another add-on to your hard drive, I know Xbox is coming out with one for $220, so that already puts you up at the price of Series X. I'm sure there's other going to be aftermarket stuff that you can buy that maybe are $50, $100, but that's still more money that you're going to be spending to get that extra storage space, and you're not going to have the Blu-ray player. You're not going to have the 4K resolution. The Series X is also looking to push to 8K resolution, which we are years from that at this point, or at least being a standard, but 4K will be a standard probably the next 2 to 3 years. So if you're looking to buy a console that's probably going to last you for 5, 6, 7 years, you're going to want the X. If you don't care and you only want it to go for maybe 2 or 3 years, I think the S will be just fine. But if you want to buy one thing, and I hate to use the term investment with something like this because it's just entertainment, you don't need it, but the X is probably the better investment long term. Because you may get in that situation with the S where you're like, oh, now I want 4K gaming has become the standard. 4K TVs are the standard. The prices have come down. you know, it's 2022 and I have me a QLED TV in every room of the house. I need this. I need to upgrade, and now you go spend, maybe the price come down and you spend $400 on the machine. Well, that's still more money. Now you spent $700 overall when you could have just bought the X to begin with and been done with it. So it's one of those situations to me of buy once, cry once, and then it's over, it's done with. And hey, with that all access, I mean, you could pay $35 a month and it doesn't hit as hard. Which, of course, all access is their Verizon version of Verizon or AT&T of just paying for the hardware for 2 years. Like I said, that's a great little deal there. If you don't want to hit your credit, I totally understand that too. Something to think about. Longevity, I'm giving it to the X. So that's 3 to 2. That's the 5 things I'm bringing up today. I think those are 5 great ways to compare these, simple ways to compare these. I want to go with the X. That's my end goal. So let me know in the comments below which one you're going after on the pre-order date of the 22nd, November 10th, or after. Which one are you going for first? Are you going to go for the X? Are you going to go for the S? Why are you going to go for those? I'd love to know, because it might make me change my mind. If I don't get the pre-order, I may have to reconsider this whole thing going, and I'll have, what, another couple weeks, at least 3 weeks or so to think about it. So hey, if y'all do me a favor, go ahead and click that subscribe button. We're going to bring more out to you, talk more about Xbox, PS5, other gaming, tech stuff. That's what I love doing. So I'm going to bring it to y'all. So y'all go ahead and click that subscribe button, click that notification bell, and we will see you on the next one. Out!